run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it, run it. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I reckon I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time. Practice, I did all that. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big top, young veteran, living legend, but I'm better than it go off. We're not in the pulpit, I'm a big bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my brain, watch out, step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a job, but I'ma get it here, watch out, touchdown. Pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cush down, it's for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did pull up, then settle it, ain't got a job, but I'ma get it here, watch out, touchdown. Pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, I'ma get it here, watch out, touchdown. Pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cush down, it's for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.
Well, after 6 months, 21 rounds, 125 games, and more than a few weather-related postponements, we have arrived at the final weekend of the 2025 NPL Queensland regular season. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Luxury Paint Stadium here in Richlands for this, a match that will have a massive impact on the final makeup of the finals picture as Lions host Easts. James Coughlin here in the booth, ready to bring you all the action tonight on FQTV. And there is a lot on the line for both of these clubs over the next 90 minutes. Lions enter tonight's clash still a mathematical chance of pipping Moreton City to the premiership and the state spot in the Australian Championship, needing a win and a favour from Gold Coast United. First, though, they have to take care of business against a stubborn East side that has plenty to play for themselves, in position to secure their first NPL finals appearance if things go their way tonight. I bring you all the updates from both Coplix and the Croatian Sports Centre, so stick with us as the regular season draws to a close. We had a 7-goal thrill last time these two faced off. Let's hope for some more wild and entertaining football, and we'll run through the lineup starting with Lions. The goalkeeper is Matt Acton, number 3 Jackson Hart-Phillips, 4 Hashan Ramazani, 5 Tommy Jarrod, 6 Emmett Shaw, 8 Mitch Hoare, 11 Luke Broderick, 12 Sean Carlos, 18 Oscar Dillon, 21 Jack Skinner, and 30 Jimmy Ontiknap. And the big change for Lions is Andy Pengelly dropping to the bench, where he is also joined by Joe Duckworth and the returning Alex Fechner. Meanwhile, for East, it is as they were for their midweek win over Sunshine Coast Wanderers. And they have the goalkeeper Chris Parsons, number 2 Scott Neville, 3 Alex Barnett, 6 Phil Lazum, 7 Orlando Lopez, 8 Matt Rydenton, 9 Braden Doolan, 10 Laurie Kant, 16 Josh Brindle South, 19 Bailey Ferguson, 23 Cody Maud, and 24 Ui Guan Han. We've got the lineups out. We are ready for kickoff. Lions in their traditional orange and blue strip. We'll be going right to left on your screen. We are underway down at the Croatian Sports Centre. Coin toss at Coplix. And just awaiting the go-ahead from our referee tonight. Adam Kersey blows his whistle. We are underway, and it is an all-star officiating crew at Lions as well, with Kersey assisted by Misuk Park and James Sherry. And the 4th official is Ziad Ahmedovich. Only throw in 4 Lions. And the reason why there is so much intrigue heading into this game is just a case of mathematics, and I'm sure there have been a few ice cream headaches going around trying to work out all the permutations. But the short version is Lions, they are guaranteed a top 2 finish this season. Here's former Lions player Josh Brindle South on the ball. Under the watchful eye of Coach Raider Al-Rakabi, Easts are on track for their best finish in the NPL, and will come back for the free kick. So the latter scenario going into this weekend, Moreton City 44 points plus 23 on the goal difference. Lions 42 points plus 20 on the goal difference. So the simple scenario for Moreton City down on the Gold Coast is they are premiers with a win or a draw and Lions dropping points. Or if both teams lose, it will be as you were. For Lions, they're assured of a top 2 finish. Penn Power in 3rd place on 38 points. However, they can win the premiership and clinch their spot in the championship with a win plus a Moreton City loss, or if Lions win by 3 goals or more and Moreton City draw their clash. And Broderick has strayed offside. Another offside infringement by the home side early on. And Gold Coast Knights just with a excellent chance off a corner. The shot going across the face of the Wanderers goal down at the Croatian Sports Centre. Doolan winds up on the ground, nothing doing there. Neville sends it back up towards halfway. Doolan back on his feet, nods it away. Ramazani sends it back to Acton. No shortage of A-League experience tonight on both sides. Carlos wearing the armband. Punches it away. There's Ferguson. Larsam sprays it out to the left. So East, they are on 35 points with a plus 13 goal difference. 1 point ahead of Gold Coast Knights, who have a plus 2 goal difference. So the scenario for East to make the top 4, they win, they're in. Can't get much more simple than that. However, with a draw and Gold Coast Knights dropping points, they are in. Or if both teams lose, then East will be in 4th place. Gold Coast Knights, I have a feeling there may be a few phones tuned into this stream down at Carrara. They need a win and an East's loss. There's technically a scenario where Penn Power could fall out of 3rd place behind East, but that involves a double-digit loss to St George, and we're trying to work in the realms of reality here. So that is the state of play heading into round 22. And if you're trying to keep up on all of that, more power to you. The big absence from the starting lineup for Lions is Andy Pengelly. He has dropped to the bench. The Golden Boot leader as well, as he's on 16 goals. Nia Joseph from Penn Power is on 14. And Sato Murai, after his hat-trick last week, has moved up into outright 3rd on 12 goals. And a very optimistic scenario for Laurie Kant. If he can score 5 tonight, he'll draw level with Pengelly as well. I don't think Kant has scored 5 goals in a game, but you can never be too sure. Oh, high foot coming together between Jared and Kant. So the feed I've got here in the commentary booth, Moreton City, their game is about a minute and a half behind here at Lions. Not that that'll really come into play until about 10 past 8 tonight, local time. Carlos, calm on the ball in the centre of the pitch, gets it to Hart Phillips. He'll go for a barnstorming run and a slip on the surface. It was that Hoare who couldn't keep his footing. It's actually looking like a pretty solid surface here at Luxury Paint Stadium. Considering the rain we had, which thankfully was not as bad as forecast originally, but that is not a good sign for Phil Larsam, who went down in that last passage of play. And Raider Al Rakabi might be forced to go to his bench early, as he gets some running repairs. So the rest of the ladder heading into the weekend, we know 3 of the top 4. Gold Coast Knights still a chance to get in. Olympic on 27 points. Brisbane City also on 27 points. They do have a catch-up game in hand. Gold Coast United 27 points. And Wynnum Wolves had their safety secured last week, as did the Brisbane Roar. And so it will be St George and Sunshine Coast Wanderers playing FQPL next season. Oscar Dillon on the ball. A mid-season signing from Gold Coast United, playing his 8th game in orange and blue. He did start Gold Coast's 4-1 loss against East down at Coplix back in May. Hoping for happier returns tonight. There's too much on that pass. And the other round 22 games taking place this evening. We've got the 3 feature ones. We have Brisbane City against Olympics. City already 1-0 up in that game. Just scored. That is the only goal of the night. We also have St George, Penn Power and Wolves against the Roar. The unofficial Jack Hingett derby. Awesome. Still moving around a little gingerly, and for a combative defensive midfielder, it's not a situation you want to necessarily find yourself in as Skinner breaks out the fast footwork. Handed away by Barnett, recovered 25 yards from goal by Ontiknap. Ramazani switches the play. Dillon looking for the slide rule pass, but unable to pick him out. Dillon linking up with Kant. Laurie Kant, watched closely by Hoare. Laid off to Rydenton. Phil Larsen looking to keep his remarkable streak going, the mainstay of the Olympic midfield for so long. Then from 2018 to 2021, played in 4 grand final defeats. There's Hahn, he'll play that off Jared for the corner. And then move to Gold Coast Knights from 2022 to 2024 with a brief stint at Surfers Paradise. However, Phil Larsen has made the finals in every NPL season I believe he's played in, going from 2018 through to 2024. And if East can get the desired result tonight, that will keep that streak going as prepare this set piece. Delivery to the back post. Acton happy to watch that. Touched on by Maud. He'll take the strike on, and a foot out by Ramazani to block that away. Calmly defended by Jared. Maud sees his shot go away. Corner taken short. And wasted by East as it's turned over, and now Skinner trying to launch the counter attack. Ferguson only got a little bit of a tug on him, but nothing given. Straight to Hart Phillips and given straight back to Easts. Hahn keeping it moving. Brindle South. Over 100 appearances for Lions in 2 stints. 95 NPL games, 5 goals. One-time Brisbane Roar fullback. Forward for Hahn, watched by Carlos. The bench standing up is Darren Syme, taking charge of his 188th senior men's match for Lions. And he has amassed a remarkable record as on the cutback for Ferguson. So in FQ competitions, Syme has 187 games, 124 wins, 28 draws and 35 defeats. Good luck to his replacement for next year is all I can really say to that. Here's East making it for Rydenton. Another player with ties two lines. Cole to the back post and oh, so close to the opener. Hahn can't get his shot in between the posts. It bounces away and Lions survive a scare. Now going back down the other way, it's Broderick battling with Barnett. And out it goes for the throw. And how about that ball from Rydenton? And the angle was just too tight for Hahn. And there is the first true chance of the evening. And it goes the way of the visitors. And Olympic have pulled one back in their clash. That goal has just been chalked up as Brindle South quickly apologises for playing that one behind for the corner. Niall Tom with the opener for Brisbane City in their clash. Waiting confirmation on the goal scorer for Olympic, but Imperial Corp Stadium is only venue for the goals through a quarter of an hour. Set to be an outswinging delivery. And still alive, could fall for Dillon, shot blocked, and a diving desperation save on the ground by Parsons, and roll it away. Oscar Dillon been the unlikely taker of Lions' first true shot on target. Lord, start the attack. The pass just out of the reach of Doolan. And down we go now as another injury sees Dillon on the ground, is what the replay tells us. And not a whole lot, and that's never a comfortable sign for Oscar Dillon as he is down receiving treatment. And since coming into the NPL in 2018, they have made the finals in all 7 seasons. However, they could be in line for a first. See what that first is in a second as Max Brown lines up a free kick for Gold Coast Knights, deflected away off the wall, and Fukuyo has his shot blocked away. Now a chance for Walters as he goes down, and appeals for a penalty are waved away. Knights threatening the Wanderers' goal. Bringing you updates from the Croatian Sports Centre. Gold Coast Knights, Sunshine Coast Wanderers still scoreless, 17.5 minutes into that match. East will be keeping one eye on how that one unfolds because they need to match or better Knights' result to secure their first NPL finals appearance. As for Lions, they're chasing an 8th, well, they are going to make an 8th straight finals appearance, but in the NPL era. They've never finished second or third on the ladder. They have 3 premierships in 18, 19 and 2022. Fourth place finishes in 20, 21 and 2024. And they even made the 6-team final series back in 2023 when they finished 5th. And they change now for Lions as Dylan is helped off early. Simon has to go to his bench. Liam MacArthur shapes as the obvious replacement. Tommy Jarrod shifting into the centre of that 3-man backline as MacArthur will play on the right side. MacArthur, mid-season signing from Caboolture, where he made 13 appearances this season and also with experience playing with Rochdale. That is earlier than expected change for Lions. Back to Matt Acton, playing in his 8th game for Lions after his departure from the Raw, where he took over as the starting goalkeeper last season. Skinner trying to thread the needle through. Carlos goes in full bore and the handball is given against Skinner. A lot of complaints here. Just a rueful expression from Jack Skinner. Proving to be a shrewd recruit for Lions. 63 games, 20 goals for them since joining from Redlands. 7 in the NPL this year. Wanderers with an attacking free kick in their game. And the shot goes over Carlos Salidare's crossbar. Back to the action at Richlands. It's going to be a bit all over the place this evening. The important thing to note is that in the 3 games that have a bearing on the makeup of the finals picture, it's still scoreless. We've Hahn with the best chance of the evening here at Luxury Paint Stadium. Luke Borean, the substitute goalkeeper, just making a quick dash off the bench. He's on the bench tonight in place of Cardiff Pond. And now he's back. Trademark beanie. I don't know if Borean does have the infamous lollipop. At the midway point of the first half. It is as we kicked off, save for one injury-enforced change with Oscar Dillon substituted off for Liam MacArthur for Lions. And here is MacArthur on the ball, having swapped with Tommy Jarrod. Carlos for the support of Hart Phillips. Curling ball is nodded away by Barnett. Rydenton forward for Doolan. Now here come East in numbers. Hart with Ferguson and Doolan in support. Trying to put the afterburners on to get around Jared, but it's turned away. There it goes as the pace of this picks up. Ramazani plays it across. Another little shift in play from Darren Syme lately as he's gone to that 3 central defenders. What's more important for the attack now with Hoare taking the shot on and just putting it wide. A great chance. And cleverly taken by Mitch Hoare as that one had Chris Parsons worried. Foul called against Brindle South. Curling ball towards the back post and smartly defended by Maud with Hart Phillips lingering. Free kick taken quickly, and there is Emmett Shaw, who has become a regular starter for Lions. He's made 17 appearances in all competitions after making his senior debut in round 1 of the Kappa Pro Series against Wolves. In goes the corner. It's headed away and it's deflected off Adam Kersey. And we'll come back for the uncontested drop ball with East to retain possession. So the form heading into tonight's game, Lions were made to work by Olympic last week, eventually coming away with a 3-0 victory, but took 57 minutes for Jack Skinner to break the deadlock. Sean Carlos not long after, and Mitch Hoare with a late penalty. Well, East have been scoring for fun the last couple of weeks as Acton backed himself to get to the ball first, and he did. So last Friday, 5-1 win over Gold Coast United. It was 4 goals scored at half-time. Rydenton with a brace. Ferguson with the strike that Acton comfortably takes, gets down to the ground. And 5-1 win in their catch-up game against Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Their doubly postponed one. And has Doolan stayed onside? He's playing on like he has. No flag, no whistle. And a cross straight to MacArthur. Just as quickly gives it back to Neville. Heavy touch from the defender. Lazem over for Brindle South. Can't. That's his pocket picked very easily by Ontic-Knapp, and he's got acres of space around him to run, as does Shaw down that right side. Cuts it back to Skinner, top of the box. This is his range. Skinner is surrounded by white shirts. Is it for Hart Phillips? Now Broderick will take the strike on, and Parsons saw what was coming and got down to make the save. So the chances have been there for both of these sides so far, but two pretty good goalkeepers between the posts, so have to produce something pretty good to run away past them. And desperate defending from both sides as well. East especially knowing that any drop points could see their season come to an end. No further goals to report around the grounds. Hahn back for Rydenton. Now for the cutback, Ferguson. Brilliant save by Acton. Oh, for all money, you would have thought Bailey Ferguson was going to bury that. And Acton denies him to keep us at 0-0 here at Luxury Paint Stadium. Clever cutback from Hahn. And he just stuck a hand out. No chance for Lions to respond at the other end, but Barnett gets it away. Ferguson. Hart Phillips will play it off Maud for the throw in. Hart Phillips to take. Oh, Ferguson, I thought he would have had his 10th of the season. There is Hahn looking to tee up his teammate. Broderick. Shaw wraps his foot around the ball, and Neville gets it out of the box. Returned once again for Hart Phillips, not dealt with by either side, at least on the first attempt, and then it's out of the way. Doolan. He's easy to spot with his right hairstyle. Ferguson just asking a bit too much of Maud, especially against a defender of the calibre of Ramazani. Montignac for Jared. Brindle South just makes sure that Broderick can't find a way through. Skinner back for Shaw, who's got more involved as the half has gone on, as probably won't be too happy with that pass as Lazem and Hoare compete for it. And Ontignap is down, holding his knee, That did not look good for Lions, and they've already lost one key player to injury. Let's go back to the replay. And just down grasping that leg after a brief change of direction, and he does not look overly comfortable there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Jimmy Onticknap in his 63rd senior appearance for Lions in his second season at the club from Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Go down to the Croatian Sports Centre and tell you that Knights have had another corner. They are starting to mount up for one of our Hahn Australia Cup qualifiers here in Queensland. We've got an extended injury break now as Onticknap got his knee checked out. That is a guess, not a diagnosis by any means, as at Coplix, Moreton City just send a free kick wide. That game has got about 33 minutes played, almost 33. Although with the breaks for the injuries to Larsam, who has been able to play on, as well as Dylan and now Onticknap, we may have a few minutes of injury time to be added on. Gold Coast Knights taking on the already relegated Sunshine Coast Wanderers, who are putting up a fight in their NPL swan song, at least until 2027. The ability to play spoiler can be a wonderful motivator at the best of times. And there is another catch-up clash, or one last catch-up clash still to come after the completion of round 22, although that will only be for final placement rather than anything. Brisbane City hosting the Roar that was a match that was postponed from a few weeks ago. And then again, because Brisbane City and their Australia Cup clash and at Avondale during the week. Knights now with a chance as their shot is blocked away by a Wanderers defender. Here you go, Wanderers on the counter-attack. I'm just going to keep talking you through this game while we have the break in play. Hopefully, Jimmy Onticknap is not suffering anything too serious, but if it is, we'll wish him all the best in his recovery. And the attack for Wanderers and then Knights has just fizzled out. Visibly upset. Onticknap is helped off. Darren Syme is forced to go to his bench for the second time. Before half-time, with Joe Duckworth coming on to take his place in midfield. It is a talented but not overly deep senior squad for Lions. They tend to be on the lower end of players used in the NPL over the last few seasons, bringing on a couple of promising youngsters out of their academy every season. The depth is certainly going to be tested in the coming weeks as Brindle South is fouled by Duckworth, who has taken the armband off Sean Carlos. And I think his first involvement was giving away that free kick. There was A great deal of contact, just enough to perhaps justify the free kick. Low driving free kick, and it evades all the East's runners. Borrowing control by Carlos. Forward for Skinner, the live wire in attack. He's got Phillips in support, and he'll use that driver of a left foot to cross it only as far as Brindle South. And we have a third goal for the evening. St George Willawong looking to finish their season with a flourish. 1-0 up over Penn Power. The Power will need to concede another dozen or so if they are to be in any danger of falling out of third spot. Clipped ball to the top of the box, too tall for Skinner. Chased down by Cant. Mountain City now have a threatening free kick in there. Clash about 25 yards out from goal. And Kenshin Takagishi addressing the free kick. Stick with that game for the moment, as Takagishi just issuing some instructions to his teammates as East pass the ball around the back at Richlands. And Takagishi has given Moreton City the lead on 39 minutes. And that is a huge goal down at Coplix. And you wonder if that will change the Lions' approach heading into the second half of their clash. But we have a pretty big move, therefore, in the premiership race. Moreton City 1-0 up. That means they would move to 47 points on the live ladder, with Lions only on 43. And regardless of what happens here, they cannot be caught. If Moreton City win, and strong set of hands from Parsons as he holds on to the ball under plenty of pressure. We can't. It's worked out for Maud if the football cooperates. He's able to keep it in. Now Doolan driving for the byline as MacArthur goes to ground. Doolan to have another bite at MacArthur and almost lost his footing himself. Now the visitors go back to halfway. Going away from where they need it to go east, but they are just happy to hold on to possession. You do wonder for Lions. It's Shaw will hoof it away. So 4 Lions, premiership, now as it stands out of reach, regardless of what happens here at Richlands tonight. They do have a very big game coming up next weekend. We have the final, or the rescheduled final of the Men's Kappa Pro Series, where they take on Moreton City Excelsior. And then they will, as it stands, and almost certainly, no, correction, they will definitely be hosting a semi-final here at Luxury Paint Stadium on Father's Day weekend. The old rest versus rust debate is going through Darren Symes' mind right now. Not with Shaw. Larson keeping it moving east. To play one-touch football. It gets to Hahn, who will go for a run. Now back for Brindle South. Denton, heavy touch. His pocket picked by MacArthur. Neville, seeing nothing he likes, goes back to Parsons. Yeah, officially into first half stoppage time, although Kersey is probably going to add on quite a few minutes. We have had a couple of lengthy stoppages as that ball goes over the byline, and well, from one part of the Gold Coast to another, a big update from the Croatian Sports Centre. Marquez Walters has given Knights a 1-0 lead in the shadows of half-time. So that now, as his moves Lions up to 4th, what can East do about it? It's deflected behind, as that was a nervous moment for Lions and East, and probably Gold Coast Knights as well. From the angle, Hahn has caused some problems, and Duckworth got down to make the block that almost turned it into his own net. But now East have to win this game. There's the corner goes off the crossbar, I think. Acton gotten a clean hand to it. Neville goes into the box, trying to get around Ramazani, and the touch just took it too far away from the veteran defender. So it is halftime in both games on the Gold Coast, with Moreton City up 1-0 in their clash. Gold Coast Knights up 1-0 in theirs. We're still waiting for a goal here at Luxury Paints Stadium. Move into the 48th minute of the first half. East, they went close before. Can they do it again? Hahn looking for the delivery, and it's just out of reach for Laurie Cart. Gratefully claimed by Acton. This can't. Hahn. Brindle South to join the attack once again. Red Enton. Gets the pitching wedge out for Cant. As Hahn is watched very closely and gives it away. Skinner offering support for Hoare. Over goes for Hart Phillips. How much more time will be added on in the first half? At least time for one more attack through the form of Broderick. And Larsom, as he does so often, puts in a brilliant tackle inside his own 18-yard box. Doolan putting the pressure on MacArthur, who got enough on the back pass to make sure the ball reached Matty Acton. This game remains finely poised in the balance. To work the 1-2 Hoare and Carlos, but that fizzled out attack will bring us to an end of a scoreless but entertaining first half here at Luxury Paint Stadium. The score is Lions 0, East 0, not for a lack of chances. And we're going to step away and bring you back with what could be the biggest 45 minutes of the second half for either of these teams right after these messages.
Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
How do I feel this now? One straight off.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Just 45 minutes remain in NPL regular season 2025 for both Lions and Easts. And after a scoreless first half, we are set for kickoff of the second stanza. As it stands, Lions will finish the season in second place. Easts are currently in fifth unless they can find a way to win this match. Let's wait and see what the next 45 minutes holds. As we are underway at Luxury Paint Stadium. James Coughlin in the commentary booth, bringing you all the action, as well as live updates. Well, we've got a live update as Hashan Ramazani is down, as he might have just caught a stray hand there from Doolan. So just a reminder of where things stand. Lions, they are locked into a top 2 finish in the NPL. However, if Moreton City do drop points in their clash against Gold Coast United, then they might be able to pip them at the post. And while East need a win, and they will be into the final series of the NPL for the first time. However, neither side is getting a favourable result. So Gold Coast Knights 1-0 up over Sunshine Coast Wanderers in their clash, leapfrogging Easts as things stand for that 4th spot. Meanwhile, Moreton City Excelsior 1-0 up over Gold Coast United down at Coplick Family Sports Park, and they are the premiers-elect. We are back in action. As East putting the pressure on, they surely know what is required of them here. Hahn takes the touch to Brindle South. Hahn continuing the run, keeping it along the byline, right-footed cross straight off the head of Duckworth. One of 2 first-half injury-enforced changes for Darren Syme. Now East have to win. Lions have to hope that Gold Coast United can do them a favour. Although, as it stands, there's no scenario where these 2 sides on your screen come away happy with the outcome this evening. Lazem gives away the foul and can only laugh about it as he had one too many bites at the cherry. Couple of infringements there. Brindle South heads it away. Doolan, heavy touch, gives it straight back to Duckworth. From Broderick, not quite able to bring that one under control, and Hart Phillips sliding in his Lazem. Combative style, which has served him so well in his long career. heavy collision there, and the yellow card is going to go to Tommy Jarrett, and Lazem down in plenty of protests. Neville coming in against Carlos, and disagreement between those two. See the coming together. Neville with... Looks like he had some words for Carlos, who was directing his eye towards the referee. And after all is said and done, back in action as Ferguson asks a question, feeling like he was fouled there, nothing doing. And what do East have up their sleeve as they try to find a way to break this deadlock? It was clever by Ramazani taking the extra touch. Carlos and Rydenton battling in midfield. Larsen goes in heavily on Carlos and tells him to get up, and the call is for a free kick after that challenge from Phil Larsen. Is a little bit heated out there now. He's starting to feel the pressure, and Lions, as we have seen against many opponents in the past, not afraid to engage in some discussion. Broderick is bigger than the East midfielder on that occasion. So regardless of how tonight goes for East, even if they do finish 5th and miss out on the finals, this will be their best finish in the NPL in 5 seasons, needing their previous best finish of 7th in 2020 and 2022. Jared is giving away the foul on Doolan, and Doolan, so that's the best look, asking for the second yellow for Jared. Pretty sure I've seen that being given as a yellow card for a player asking for the booking as recently as last week in the Premier League. Is this the moment for East with the free kick? Curled in, and it beats every player. And there would have been a few hearts in mouths on both sides as Brindle South can't cut out the run of Shaw. The touch of Shaw brings that one to an end. Lazem crowded out by a pair of Lions players. He nibble at Hoare and gives away the free kick. Skinner. Hart Phillips, clip back. Carlos with the header. Knocked away by the foot of Brindle South. Still there for Duckworth to take the shot. Doesn't get past its first East player. Now Doolan. Getting on the afterburners. Denton plays it through. Ferguson, he had that chance in the first half. Can't convert. Cleared away by Jared over the sideline. Still there for East to keep this attack going. Can't. For Maud with the cutback. Rydenton for the creative rather than the shot. I can tell you that it was a very near moment of joy for East as they had a shot that produced a acrobatic save. From Casey Wendt, who was actually starting for Knights. So said Saliadare earlier. And Ramazani is coming over for some running repairs after copping a knock earlier in the match. Earlier in the second half even. Denton, it's just bending away from Kant. Brindle South on the follow-up. Doolan can't bring it under control. Here's Larsen. Now through ball as Ferguson will let it go behind for the corner. And he's starting to mount an attack. Couldn't have measured that one much better, Matt Rydenton. Ramazani ushered back on by Mr. Kersey. Another deep corner as it's back by Barnett. Can't reach Doolan though. Clearance to Neville. Barnett no way through Ramazani. Skinner in the centre circle. Back out to Ramazani. Hart Phillips is briefly deputising at centre back as he and Ramazani swap back. Sure. Larsen pulled out of the challenge. Hoare. And straight offside. As that shot was blazed over the bar. So the question now becomes for Lions as their substitutes are warming up over in that far corner. Will we see the likes of Fechner, Pengelly and Finn Beekhurst, who are the remaining outfield players? You can see Fechner and Pengelly standing up. With only one substitution window still available for Darren Syme after Oscar Dillon and Jimmy Ontiknap were subbed off in the first half. Can't. Pressure on Jared. Brindle South. Back for Barnett. Ferguson. No way through and now turned over. Broderick. Again, just sliding in. as per almost always, getting it bang on. Barnett shields that one over the byline. We have those teased changes. Not just yet, so let's run through the scores around the grounds. In round 22, Brisbane City and Olympic still locked at 1-1. Niall Tom in the 8th minute, Lathan Dunn in the 15th in that one. Wolves 2-1 up over the Raw. Jez Lofthouse with the brace in that game. Aaron Morris with the goal for the Raw. I have a feeling Lofthouse would have enjoyed that. Well, scoring those 2 goals. Bit of fire between St George and Penn Power. Sazdo Georgiev with the goal for St George before half-time. Solomon Veldemariam sent off in the 50th minute for Penn Power, and they have just levelled it about 60 seconds ago. And in the 2 games that are relevant to this scoreless encounter, no change from half-time. Kenshin Takagishi in Norton City, the advantage. Their game as Broderick's header goes wide. Well, Gold Coast Knights 1-0 up over Sunshine Coast Wanderers, courtesy of Marquez Walters. Scoring his 11th of the season, and now we will have those changes. And it is a triple treat for Lions with Finn Beakhurst, Andy Pengelly, and Alex Fechner coming on, with Carlos Broderick and, to be confirmed, and Emmett Shaw is the one replaced. Oh, that is an ugly challenge from Rydenton, and he will justifiably receive a yellow card for that one. Might have gotten 6 and 8 mixed up. That was definitely Matt Rydenton who got the booking. There's a free kick. Brindle South doing his defensive duty, clearing it away. And can't. Will play it over the sideline. And Barnett gives away the free kick right on the edge of the box. That would have been a, no pun intended, a line call. And the decision is free kick, although it's a tough spot for Duckworth. You wonder if he'll just fire it right across the face of the goal and hope that it can cop a deflection. Parsons will make himself as big as possible. And Duckworth will drive it straight into the forehead of Scott Neville, and Hahn thumps it way down the opposite end of the pitch. No movement as yet on the East bench. And Gold Coast Knights have just scored a second. So any hope of a Sunshine Coast Wanderers favour for East is done. Now they have to take care of their own business. A chance now for Doolan. Jared. Is it away? Ty Cobb, the goal scorer for Knight. So now it is a pretty simple equation for East that might have just gotten a little bit tougher. Is that Rydenton down on the far side? Just a reminder, coming up tomorrow on FQTV, you can make full use of the new multi-view feature with the final day of the FQPL 1 men's and women's season. With a couple of tense premiership races. In the women, it is Caboolture, Capalaba and Olympic vying for the premiership and a pair of promotion spots, or at the very least a promotion spot and a playoff spot. Well, in the FQPL men, it is going to take a very specific set of results for any one of the contenders to claim the premiership tomorrow. But there are 4 contenders with Broadbeach, Magic United, Rochdale and Brisbane Strikers. Women's teams are at 3:15, men at 4:15. And a free header goes over the bar from Hoare. Kant trying to clear his way out, and Moreton City have just been awarded a penalty in there. Goes for the chance to go 2-0 up. As the offside flag goes up against Doolan. The equation hasn't changed for either of these sides. We may have a change coming up for Moreton City. Not Moreton City, I beg your pardon. East trying to track 2 games at once here. It'll be Satan Miro to take the penalty for Moreton City. And Rydenton's evening will come to an end. So Rydenton, his evening is done, and there's Daniel Diaz coming on. Another mid-season signing for East. And Murai has converted his penalty. It is 2-0 to Moreton City on their way to their first piece of silverware of the Cam Miller era. It's been 3 years in the making for Moreton City. So now the main drama here at Luxury Paint Stadium, with the other 2 Gold Coast games sitting at 2-0, is whether or not East can find a way to break this deadlock and score the goal that would vault them back up into 4th place. They have 20 minutes plus stoppages to do it. It's not quite time for praying to the deities if you are the East persuasion. It is getting pretty close. After 1,960 minutes of league football, East have their fate in the last 20 minutes. Can they find a way through? Lions, they are experts at closing games out. They won't want to cede any momentum heading into crunch time. And another change coming up for the visitors. Orlando Lopez will be replacing Braden Doolan. Hasn't quite clicked for Doolan this evening. The other piece of jeopardy in terms of individual honours is the Golden Boot race in the NPL men, which Andy Pengelly leads as it stands. However, Nia Joseph scored the goal for Penn Power. Duckworth with the foul. That may come back to some further punishment with Lopez breaking away, driving into the box. Watched closely by MacArthur. Lopez buries a chance. East are back and forth, and it is a first touch for the substitute, Orlando Lopez. Look how much it means to East. And they take the lead at Richlands. And a beautifully struck strike off his left. And the top four race takes another turn. Well, it took 73 minutes for the first goal of the match, and it was a lightning quick end-to-end counter-attack. And they are on the verge now, East. Just his second goal of the NPL season. Just when it was needed most, he's come through in the best possible way. So now Gold Coast Knights will be hoping for a favour from Lions. And just as about to mention the men's Golden Boot race, still has some jeopardy attached to it. So Andy Pengelly leading the way on 16 goals. However, three members, I beg your pardon, of the chasing pack have scored tonight. Marquez Walters' goal vaults him up to 11. Would be optimistic to ask him to score another 4 in the next 13 minutes down at Carrara. Seta Murai is up to 13 on the season with his successful penalty. But the big one, Nia Joseph has scored. And Penn Power have just been shown a second red card. I'll see if I can bring you an update on that one in just a moment. But Nia Joseph is now on 15, one behind Andy Pengelly. It is one back by Diaz, who stumbled and able to play it off to Lopez as he's blazing down that right side again, this time looking to turn provider. Headed away by MacArthur. And down goes Skinner. He is felled by Kant. And the action continues here at Avery Payne Stadium. East leading 1-0 with the goal that might put them into the semi-finals. Now here is Kant. Curling ball as Ferguson and straight offside. Shot saved by Matty Acton. Duckworth forward for Hoare. Skinner. No way through. Barnett, Larsam. Finding Kant. So Joseph Hitchcock was the player sent off for a lunge. One of the St George players, and it sparked a whole lot of push and shove. So it's all happening in the final quarter of an hour of the regular season as we prepare for the finals, and Fechner is fouled. Andy Pengelly is on 16 for the Golden Boot. And that would be the lowest winning total for the men's Golden Boot since Graham Fife won it for Redlands in 2015 with 18 goals. As Pengelly is chasing his third NPL Golden Boot, but it would be his first in orange and blue, winning it in 2019 with Strikers, that 41-goal season. Handed away by Neville, and also putting it goalwards and turned off the bar by Hoare. And again, East surviving as it was pinballing around, failing to clear their lines off the free kick. Hart Phillips with the strike, and Hoare couldn't direct it goalwards. And you can see the relief on the faces of the East players, but they now have to try and defend this corner. To the near post, nodded on, palmed away by Parsons, and Fechner drilled it straight into the head of one of the East players. Is that Diaz on the ground? I'm not 100% sure. And it is. Oh, that him from close range, and Adam Kersey smartly holding up play as Diaz gets treatment for the head injury. And Luke Beckwith has just been shown a red card down at Koplicks. Second yellow. And he will come off there as we just wait the status of Daniel Diaz, who's back on his feet and will need to go to the sideline. Olympic have taken the lead against Brisbane City about 10 minutes ago, lost in all the chaos. So 10 minutes remaining for Easts, plus stoppages, which be a few more minutes. Played too far ahead of Ferguson. Ralston has just pulled one back for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Down at Carrara, it is 2-1 to Knights. Beakhurst will go down as a shot on target. I think he might have been trying to tee up Pengelly. Heavy collision in between Duckworth and Diaz. It has been a bruising contest for both sides. Plenty of full-blooded challenges. Skinner with the cross of the top of its intended target. Brindle South lays it away. How desperately would East love a insurance goal? Oh, has to dig into the tank to keep that one in. Allowed to run. Beakhurst asking for an option, finds Ramazani. Good for a goal or two in a moment like this as Fechner can't get clean contact on the ball. Now it's Lions' turn to lay siege to the East goal. Ramazani sizing up his options out wide, finding Skinner. Hahn. He's got support if he can find it, but Jared unable to reach it. Laurie can't, looking to square it. Tracking back well was MacArthur. Clearance only as far as Hahn, who wins the race to the ball. East still on the attack. Yes, out for Maud. Heavy touch showed just enough of it for it to be cleared away. And the third substitution window will be used by Raider Al-Rakabi. Comes over to issue his instructions as Lazem is the one, well, it's the first player to be called over, but will he come off? Always admire a manager who opts for the dress shirt on the sideline. We're just waiting for confirmation on these subs will be. Well, no such luck for Melville and Ifaka Onasiake. Maybe we try that again in a couple of minutes. So, a few more minutes of stoppage time to be added on. And good luck working out who that last touch came off. According to Meesuk Park, it was off East. Lions get the goal kick. 4.5 minutes of normal time remaining. East with the slenderest of leads, but it might be enough to get them into the NPL men's finals for the first time. So the women's team, no stranger to the playoffs. 2023 grand final winners. Tense 1-0 victory over Gold Coast United. Duckworth. Playing up for Hart Phillips, who tries to salvage the throw-in, but can only play it behind for a goal kick, as the corner flag didn't do him any favours. We're having a wild finish at Imperial Corp Stadium. It is now 3-2 in favour of Olympic. About 2 minutes remaining in that clash. And stoppage time at St George's Park. That game looks like it's heading for a 1-1 draw, which would be enough for Pengelly to secure the Golden Boot for season 2025. Third time winning that honour. Can't in space. Thought about the shot. Plays it off to Lopez, putting those futsal skills to good use with the fast footwork. Now could break for Khan on the far side, looking to seal it. Saved by Acton. Hahn gathers the rebound. Back for Lopez. No shooting lane afforded to him that time by Pengelly. Lazem. For Khan. Curling effort, but can't dip it below the crossbar. Turn, got the angle, but it was pretty much straight over Acton's head anyway. Stoppage time down at the Croatian Sports Centre. Still 2-1-2 Gold Coast tonight, so East, as it stands, have to hold on. They are 2 minutes behind the picture we've got here in the booth. So they will likely know how the night's game will finish before we leave you on this stream tonight. And fired across the face of goal. Neville with the critical header, and Diaz and Lopez, the substitutes, combining to clear it away. Back it comes again though. Ramazani out for Beakhurst, curling ball. Defender on the first attempt. Neville mops up the 300-game A-League player. How valuable is his experience now? Ramazani sprays it out. Duckworth. Bending ball and too far ahead of Fechner, and Parsons will probably be toying with taking a yellow card for his troubles as we move into second half stoppage time. He is in absolutely no rush. This will likely be the last game to finish up. Parsons gets the hurry up. Ferguson wins the header. Can Lions deliver the ultimate hammer blow to Easts? 15 seconds plus stoppages to go. Lions not giving up the fight just yet. Neville, a rock at the back for Easts. And that Complex Morton City still 2-0 up. They will be premiers now. And that was fired over the bar by Duckworth. Another chance goes begging for Lions. As that is fired over the bar. As the Lions captain could have salvaged a point for his side. Parsons gets another hurry up, and you would assume the warning. Okay, that is full time at the Croatian Sports Centre. Gold Coast Knights winning that one 2-1. So East, they have to win this game. They cannot afford to concede from here. So East now know what the scenario is. And it is now official down at Coplick Family Sports Park. Morton City 2-0 victors. Congratulations, Cam Miller and his side. They are the 2025 NPL Queensland Premiers and the state's representative in the Australian Championship. All focus now on East. Can they hold on to this 1-0 lead as they try to book their first appearance in the NPL Queensland Finals on the men's side? Lions, they are pushing for an equaliser. They are not giving it up. Here is Hoare. There goes Maud. Runs it into the air. Diaz. Gets it to Lopez, the scorer of the most critical goal in his season so far. Ferguson watching MacArthur. Back it goes to Acton. Lions will finish second. Skinner plays it straight into Maud. Was there a handball? No, says Adam Kersey. Play on now as well, the Lions supporters in the crowd are adamant that should have been a free kick. Nothing doing. It's Hoare. To Jared, over for MacArthur. Now Ramazani. Does he have a moment of magic up his sleeve? Brindle South, the experience at the back has been huge for East tonight, but Brindle South now has to scramble back into position, covered by Hahn. Time for Beakhurst to size up his cross. Back it goes, Ramazani. No way through the Eastern Suburbs backline. Acton, he's a long way out. The two subs that were teased before making their way to halfway. Will there be time to make the change? A long time since a break in play. Every other game tonight has gone to full time. This will be the final action of round 22. Lions pushing for the equaliser that would knock East out of the finals. Brindle South. We're now Ramazani. He'll take the strike on blocked by Barnett. How much would Lions love to knock East out of the finals picture? Well, they needed the goal, and they are certainly pushing for it. Hart Phillips out for MacArthur. Orange jerseys streaming forward. Syme a long way out of his technical area, offering instruction to his players. Ramazani. Hill played into the box, looking for Pengelly and Fechner. And it is into the welcoming hands of Chris Parsons. 94.5 minutes played. Parsons asking Fechner to be moved back. He'll send it as far down the pitch as he can. Ferguson with the last header. It's kept in. Now over it goes. Acton will return it. And Brindle South, the only player in the vicinity of the ball. made by Beakhurst. A check of the watch from Kersey. Will there be time for the subs? So Matt Melville and Manuel Ifaka Onasiake both given seconds to play on the pitch. As Bailey Ferguson is one of the players withdrawn, and let's confirm who the other one is. Guan Han. Can't taking it to the corner. Every second that comes off the clock will be critical now for East, and I think he might have copped a corner flag in a very uncomfortable spot. It is all hands on deck now for East defensively. They just have to see out surely the seconds remaining in this game. It's Lopez for another lung-busting run. Duckworth in position to cut off that attack. Jared sends it long, looking for Fechner. Defended away. And Orlando Lopez's 73rd minute goal will send East to the NPL finals for the first time. And the travelling supporters love it. Lions will finish the season in second place, and they move on to the Kappa Pro Series final next Saturday. So there it is, the final makeup of the top four. Moreton City, the premiers. Lions will take on third place Penn Power in one semi-final, and East will take on Moreton City in 2 weeks' time. It was a tense, tight tussle here at Luxury Paint Stadium, and that is how the regular season will end for these two. Thank you very much for your company. I'm James Coughlin. This has been a production of Double Take Sports for Football Queensland. I'll be back tomorrow with Rochdale Ipswich in the FQPL 1. Final day. Good night.